what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, I just purchased this 2004 Dodge Sprinter. My goal with the channel is to kind of take everybody through the process of building a camper van and kind of rehabbing an old Sprinter. This is a T1N, so first generation Sprinter, which is highly desirable if you know about them, but they're hard to come by in good shape. This one is in pretty good mechanical shape. I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers. Seems to be, as far as I can tell. It's got a few 100,000 miles on it. It's 21 years old, legal drinking age, so it's gonna have some issues. And so I decided to pull the trigger on this one after looking at a bunch of different ones and finding this one that was in a good price point for me. And hopefully I'm not in over my head with dealing with the things that need to be fixed on it. So let me take you through the van real quick. So here's the driver's side. It looks pretty good from the outside. I mean, it is in decent shape. We've got a little bit of rust on some of the panels, so there's gonna have to be some remediation with that. Most of them are pretty solid. So there's the rust over there. Here's the back door, some rust down here. The doors are pretty easy to fix, I feel like. Missing a brake light cover up there and missing the side piece here, but overall in pretty good shape. You can see there's some rust on the door there and there, and here's the inside of the cab. I have some stuff in there, but yeah, not in too terrible of shape. There's some rust there you can kind of see that's mostly surface, but this panel under here and the driver, I'm sorry, see if I can unlock it. Let me walk around. I'll come back to that. But so yeah, overall paneling in decent shape. It's got 232,000 miles on it. It's got an old stereo that for some reason will not turn off. Oh, there we go. But yeah, stereo doesn't have Bluetooth or anything, and the speakers sound terrible, so that's gonna be something that I'll probably fix. Let me open the hood real quick. So here's the under the hood. Not sure what this discoloration is on the motor. I just drove it about 45 minutes from where I bought it to this parking lot near my house. Overall, the van seems to be running. I've test drove it a few times before I purchased it, and seems like it's in decent shape. It does have a check engine light on. I haven't gotten down to figured out what that is yet. And it looks underneath, there's a little bit of, I can see there's oil leaking somewhere. I don't know from where. It doesn't seem to be too bad, but it has a small leak somewhere. So overall though, pretty good. There's some rust there that seems to be, you know, not rusted through, but I need to remediate that. So the biggest issue with this van, there's some rust up there, so I'm gonna be fixing that, or like painting over that. The plan is to paint it with a tractor paint that you can brush on, so I'm hoping that I can sort of fix a lot of the rust, or sort of like stop it at its current state and just make it work for me while I have the van. I'm not planning on keeping this for the rest of my life, I don't think. So once I'm able to sort of dig into it a little bit more, and especially looking more at the paneling and the rust situation, that'll sort of help me gauge whether or not I want to invest in fixing that stuff a whole bunch, or if I just want to make it work for the time being, and then, you know, at some point sell the van down the road. Like I said, it has 230 some thousand miles, so it should still have some good life left in it, but at the same time, you know, it's definitely an old van at this point. So yeah, so as I figure it out, that's going to be part of the journey of this channel, is just going through this process and figuring out what do I want to do, what makes sense financially based on the state of the vehicle, and how much, you know, time and energy and money do I want to put into it. I'm going to be using it as a camper van. I don't plan on making it you know, the most fancy build, but I want it to be comfortable and have a few different amenities so that when I'm traveling, I can, you know, have some baseline comforts, because I do it pretty frequently. So that's sort of the overall condition of the van. Let me show you the back. Most of the doors, the sliding door actually doesn't work currently, so that's one of the first things I'm gonna have to do is fix the latches. This door just doesn't latch at all, so I've got it bungeed on the inside. And so there's a few like little quirks right off the bat that I need to fix in order to just have some basic functionality. This, well, I showed this already, but I'm probably just gonna try to get a different door that doesn't have that rust on the bottom there. And also because, well, here's the inside, by the way. Let's see if it's, yeah. Whoever had this van before me, unfortunately riveted this wood floor down, which I really wish, if you're out there and you're listening, you're watching, and you're currently about to screw down or rivet down a floor in a van, don't do that. You're messing up the floor. You're creating a place for rust to begin. Not the best way to do it. But anyways, I'm not too concerned. I feel like I can, when you look under the van, I didn't see any rust on the underneath of that, but there is some rust. I'm a little worried about what it looks like under here. I haven't been able to get under here yet to look. I mean, it's obviously rusty, but as long as it's not rusted through, I think it'll be mostly fine. Seems like, for the most part, pretty solid. But I definitely wanted one of these chassis for the engine, the 5-cylinder. I'm planning on doing, if not all the maintenance, most of the maintenance myself, and whatever I need, especially to like get it operational for me to use it in the near future for some trips I'm gonna take. That's kind of the basic overview. Next video, I'll start going through some different things that I'm gonna be fixing, but probably right away I'm going to fix the latches on the doors so that I can make sure it locks, and if I wanted to put something in there and lock it in, it's not going to get stolen. And then I'll be addressing the check engine light and kind of take you through whatever I have to do to fix that. I don't know, when I first test drove it, the check engine light wasn't on, and then it was when I test drove it for the second time yesterday, and those 2 times were 2 weeks apart from each other. So I think the guy that bought it from me has been driving it. I know he's been driving it. He said he never had any issues with it, and he drove it across North Carolina. I'm in Charlotte, so he was driving it a few hours to where he was telling me he was going. So we'll see what that is, but that'll be the next video. Hopefully you'll follow along if you're interested in building out one of these old vans and kind of see what it's like. Well, I guess I didn't show you, but maybe I did. This is common. These vans have a lot of the door steps have rust under here, and I haven't been able to pull these out, but I know that this one especially is rusted out. There's a hole in the middle, so I'm hoping that I can patch it and just kind of make it work without having to replace that whole little thing there. But if I have to do it, I have to do it. But again, that's one of those things I'm hoping to go through on this channel and just sort of show the process of what it's like, because I know a lot of people are interested in old vehicles, and myself included. I hate to see things go to waste, and these vehicles can go a really long time if you take care of them. So this one, you can kind of see under there, it's rusty. But again, I'm hoping that somehow I can remediate that without having to cut the whole thing out. We'll see. It'll be a fun journey. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and like and subscribe so the next video comes out, you'll get a notification. So cheers, happy trails. Bye.